A lot of business owners and leaders do not perform one-on-ones with their employees, and their main reason is they don't know how to do it, so they don't start. I'm going to solve that problem for you today. I'm going to show you how to structure a one-on-one. Let's go.
And now, introducing your host, Steve Lags.
All right, this is a great episode here. This is a hot topic. In the entire month of April, we discussed this topic in Cardone Ventures Business Mastery Leadership Program. And for those of you that are familiar with that program, the Business Mastery Leadership Program is a leadership program for elite leaders. That's Brandon Dawson's leadership philosophies. And I'm one of the team members that help mentor and coach all of the members and all the people that are in that program. And that topic we had was one-on-ones. And I'm going to walk you through the effective structure of a one-on-one. And this is going to give you the confidence for you to begin doing regularly scheduled one-on-ones with your team members in your organization. Now, if you're a business owner or if you're a leader in a business, this podcast is for you. And if you're not a business owner, you're not a leader, hey, this is going to be great value for you, because if you're on the other end of a one-on-one, you're going to learn a different perspective of how a leader is approaching a one-on-one and what their purpose is when they're performing one-on-ones with their team members. So let's start walking through this. So first, before I grab my one-on-one and walk through the structure here, let's just remind everybody of what the employee engagement equation is for people that are in your organization. So when you have people, you're going to align people, you're going to develop people, and then you're going to transition people into new roles. So the align is when you bring a new team member into your organization, you're onboarding them and you're aligning them. Then once you get done onboarding them into your organization, it's now the responsibility of the leader and that team member to develop. So we're going to go from where we start. We want to get to the next position. We want to accomplish certain goals. And in order for that to happen, we need to intentionally develop. And a one-on-one is going to be a great tool to be able to help structure that development. And then once we successfully develop, we transition into a new role, into a bigger role, into a more impactful role. And then we realign again, because now we get into a new role. We have to onboard all over again. And now that's a lot shorter period of time, but we're again onboarding and realigning into the new role. And that cycle just keeps going over and over again. So you have to keep that in the back of your mind, because that's really super important. You want to align, develop, transition a team member into a new role, then align them again in that new role, develop them, transition them into the next new role. And that's how you get somebody to succeed professionally and meet their professional goals. Now, first of all, why do we do one-on-ones? So the purpose of one-on-ones here, when we go over one-on-ones in our organization and what we teach here in the Business Mastery Leadership Program, is we want to create opportunities for a leader to be able to have a conversation, measure progress of metrics, be able to have updates and ideas come from that team member. We want to receive their updates. We want to receive their ideas. We also want to give the team member an opportunity to be able to identify any obstacles that they're experiencing. We want to know what they're struggling with. We want to know what they're succeeding with. We want to have that communication. We also want to learn about how they're doing with their goals. Are they winning? Are they succeeding with their goals? Are they making progress with their goals? It's just very important that you're aligning the work with the team member's goals. So that work that they're doing, the job that you're doing every single day, you want to create alignment with that and their true purpose and what they're looking to accomplish in their life. So you want to get updates on their personal, professional, financial goals. And it's really important to be, it's coaching opportunities. This is where you get to give positive reinforcement, which you should be doing ongoing all the time. But you also can give coaching opportunities for improvement. And you've also can be working on the development and helping them develop their skills and whatever that looks like. So I'm going to walk you through the different sections of a one-on-one. I'm going to get a little bit more detailed into each one of those sections. And before we do, a couple things you need to know about one-on-ones. Number one, once you have a confident structure of a one-on-one, you want to schedule regular one-on-ones. We do them bi-weekly for most of our roles in our organization. There's some roles you might want to do monthly, but twice a week. They're consistently done. They're never canceled. If there's some type of conflict, or someone's out of the office, or there's PTO time, they're rescheduled. Always stick to the one-on-one schedule. Do not. You're sending the wrong signal if you cancel these. These are super important. This is your employees' time to sit down for 30 minutes, dedicated time with their leader to go over anything they want to go over within the structure of this one-on-one, which it serves as an agenda. Secondly, have your team members complete the one-on-one form that I'm going to walk you through one day in advance. So if I have a one-on-one with a team member tomorrow, that team member's responsibility is to submit that one-on-one to me today. And why is that important? A couple reasons. Number one, we want them to have already intentionally, thoughtfully thought through the agenda items and prepared for it. So this ensures that they're prepared for the one-on-one, and they're not going to have to figure it out in the middle of the one-on-one and be looking up for data and information that they should already have available in the one-on-one. Secondly, that gives you, the leader, to review the one-on-one in advance. So the leader will read that one-on-one prior to the meeting, and that won't take very long. And the value of that is, first, you've already read it. So in the one-on-one, the team member doesn't have to read the whole entire one-on-one to you because you've already read it and you have all the information. In addition, when you have that one-on-one in advance, that gives you an opportunity to be able to prepare for it, because maybe there's a question that you need to do some research for, or maybe there's a challenge, and it helps for you to have some time to think about, how can I help them overcome that challenge? So sometimes there's information in a one-on-one that extra day gives you advanced preparation to be ready for that one-on-one and be able to be a better leader and help them a little bit better when you actually have the one-on-one. So those are a few things, must-dos for one-on-ones. Make sure they're scheduled. Make sure they're consistently held. Make sure that commit to having the team member submit them the day before. If they don't submit it the day before, well, that's a lack of discipline. Hey, someone's going to do it once. Sooner or later, someone's going to miss it. No one's perfect, but you want to make sure that they're consistently submitting them the day before. If they don't submit it, reschedule to the following day and make sure that this doesn't become a pattern or a trend, and that they submit it to you in advance. During the one-on-one, once I have the one-on-one, some don'ts. Don't allow interruptions. When you're the leader in there, you're actively listening, and if someone calls you, unless it's some type of really big emergency, don't allow it to be interrupted. Don't be paying attention to other things on your computer screen. Don't be multitasking. This is that team member's dedicated time to you, the leader, and they need 100% of your undivided attention and you to be actively listening and hearing from them and having an amazing conversation. Make sure you're connecting in that conversation. This can't be just a transactional checklist of things to do. This is where you're really connecting with them. You're learning more about them, and you're getting a deeper understanding of them, and you guys are really working together here to help each other succeed, but most importantly, help that team member lead. So first section for a one-on-one is going to be actions taken. So we have a 2-page one-on-one form template. The first section is actions taken, and that is where your team member is going to list all the action items from the previous one-on-one that were taken. So that, for the purpose of that, is to make sure that all these one-on-ones are connected, and that the action items from the previous one-on-one that were identified for the team member, this is their accountability piece, and this is their organization piece, where they get to note that, hey, action item number 1 was to re-look at the metrics for the marketing campaign that we were running on LinkedIn and provide the rest of the team data that was required, done on January 1st. Good. They'll go through all the different action items. Now, the next section on here is the metrics. Now, every team member in your organization should have metrics. And if they don't already, you need to work on that. And if you're starting from not having any, don't wait for them to be perfect. Just get some metrics started. and then you'll build on it and you'll optimize it over time. But they all need to have some metrics, whether they're quantitative metrics or qualitative metrics, but metrics that are being tracked. And in this section, the purpose is for them to realize and understand how they're performing according to their metrics. And that prevents the situation where they don't know how they're doing or they're not paying attention. They're taking a look at it at least twice a month. You would hope that they would be looking at it more frequently than that, but that's the minimum amount of time they're going to be looking at, hey, so far my metrics are 95%, which is great on our magnitude of impact scale, or which is excellent. So if you have a grading system or a scoring system, make sure they're actually specifying what that really means. Is it meeting target? Is it not meeting target? Is it good? Is it great? Is it excellent? Is it remarkable? Is it average? Is it poor? So not just put the number, but what does that really equate to? Is that meeting your incentive plan? Are you on target for incentive, or you're not on target with incentive? Because the number by itself might not mean much, but like make sure they're making the connections to what that metric number really truly means. Is it really doing great, or is it just doing average? So that's really important. Make sure that they have those metrics there. Next section that we have on our one-on-one is going to be the development plan. Okay, so all team members in our organization have a development plan once they complete when they finish a year here in our organization. This is something that Cardone Ventures has really done a great job of teaching me and my organization how to do. So this is the development piece, right? We talked about once you align an employee and onboard them, the next phase is developing them. Now, just doing the work by itself is not developing intentionally. If you see a lot of people will be in a particular job for many, many years, it's because they're not intentionally developing. And it's really a shame because most organizations are like this. You'll see someone in the same position for 5, 15 years, and they're just doing the job. They might be developing, but they're developing so unintentionally and so slowly because it's based on just experience and experience by itself. And the truth of the matter is, experience really means nothing. It's what you do in the time that you have the experience. It's the results that you have in experience. And if you want to improve your results with your experience, you need to intentionally develop. So we identify the opportunities for development in each and every one of our team members at the end of every year, because we all have opportunities to develop. Every single leader, the president of the company, the CEO of the company, the business owners, everybody in the organization has opportunities. And when you are aware of those opportunities and you identify those opportunities, and then you create a plan to develop on those opportunities that's intentional, and then you're accountable and disciplined to that plan, you are going to 100% develop, and you're going to become more successful in the long run. It's just a guarantee, and you'll become more successful a lot faster if you have a development plan and you're following that plan, versus if you're just drifting and hoping it just gets better over time, just based on experience by itself. So in our development plan section, this is where our team members will be updating on the progress that they've made on their development plan. And there's a lot more detail to that. I'm not going to go too much into weeds with that, because it's not just simply a checklist, but you want to make sure that they're actually understanding something. They're connecting it to what they can, what they've learned, how they can use that in their particular life, and how they've actually applied it in the results that they're getting. So the next section in a one-on-one, which is really great, I love this section, is the updates and ideas. Now, in the updates and ideas, this is where your team members have the opportunity to provide updates and ideas for the organization or their particular role. This is where they're doing all the work, and this is where their thinking really shows. They get a chance to showcase their amazing thinking and the innovation that comes through within an organization. So many of the great changes and innovations we've made in our organization at TRC Electronics have come through the updates and ideas section of our one-on-ones. These team members are thinking of better ways to do things, more efficient ways, more effective ways. How can we be more successful as a team? How can we provide a better experience for our clients and from one another? We get all these ideas. Now, We have 3 columns. It's updates and ideas, who's the responsibility, and any special notes. And also any updates and ideas, we list them in order of priority in the event that we don't get to all the updates and ideas in that particular one-on-one, because we do have 30 minutes for that one-on-one, and usually a leader's one-on-ones are stacked one after the other, so we can't run over time because we're getting them all done in that particular period of time. The other thing that they can do in updates and ideas is also list any obstacles or any challenges that they're having. This is the opportunity for them to put this down in advance and put it in writing and make sure that we cover it. So this is an amazing section. I really love this. This has provided our organization so much value. Another section that's really great is our personal and professional financial goals updates. This is an area where we have in our organization personal and professional financial goal planning. And they have a document that's created for their plan and different steps and phases, and progress is tracked. The team member gets to track their progress. And in this particular section, this is where they have an opportunity just to simply provide when was the last time they updated their personal professional financial goals. Because we know that if they're not winning and they're not paying attention to their winning, then as a leader, we're failing. So this holds the leadership accountable to making sure that the team members are winning. And this is where we can, hey, I saw you made an update 3 days ago. Would you like to share a little bit about that? Or maybe the team member is going to go right to that and talk about the updates they made. And this is where we also get to hold them accountable for their own goals, because they've indicated that they're serious about their goals. Now, those are the basic sections. There's a lot to learn there, a lot to identify in terms of how to do that right, how to do that incorrectly, how to have a transformational one-on-one versus just a very transactional one-on-one. But what I will say this is that one major tip here is that you have a one-on-one completed. And when I start a one-on-one with a team member, hey, I've read the one-on-one, so I'm excited about meeting with you today. Where do you want to start? They could start anywhere they want. I'll make sure that if there's points I want to hit, I'm going to grab them in a one-on-one. I'll make sure that I hit them. There might not be anything in particular I want to go over. I just want them to go through it. Or I may say, hey, wherever you want to start, but I do have a couple of things that at some point I'm going to want to make sure we hit, because I want to make sure that we identify a couple things or address a couple things in there. And let them go through it and let them start where they're most excited about. And what you don't want to happen in a one-on-one is them just simply read it from start to finish, because you've already read it. This is the point, not for them to read to you. This is an opportunity for you to have a meaningful conversation that you actually connect with the team member and you get some real work done here and you make some real progress. And also, if you had some opportunities that you wanted to coach the team member or reinforce some great behavior or some work that's being done, this is an opportunity for you to address any coaching opportunities where, maybe there were some coaching opportunities where you saw opportunities for improvement, didn't need to be addressed immediately due to the nature of it. And I could address it in a one-on-one. Okay, this is where I'll bring that up. Hey, I love what you're doing here. And I saw some great opportunities here where I'd like to coach you so that you can be more successful in this role. That's where I'll bring it up in a one-on-one, because sometimes these minor things that you're coaching for improvement don't need to be addressed right away if it's just simply for improvement. And that prevents you from, quote, micromanaging somebody where you're over the top of them. And every 30 minutes, you're telling them to do something better. You're telling them to do something better when they're, in that development stage. You're not aligning them and onboarding them in a new role. You might have some training sessions where that's a little bit more intense, but you want to be able to give them that freedom to make the mistakes and learn from them. So I like to use the one-on-one to really address any of that. So guys, that is the effective structure of a one-on-one. Most business owners are not doing one-on-ones because they just don't have the confidence in the structure of a one-on-one. Once you have a structure of a one-on-one and you have confidence in the one-on-one, then you could know that this purpose of this one-on-one is really for the employees. They're going to gain more out of this than the employer is going to gain out of it. Once you get there, then you could start doing a one-on-one. Now, here's my offer. If you want to learn more about performing these one-on-ones and set yourself up for super success for you and your leadership team and all your employees, I could definitely help you out. That's something that we do. You email me at steve@stevelags.com. Just put in the subject, one-on-one assistance. Send me a nice email, and I'll definitely get you hooked up with a program that we could get you set up for those amazing transformational one-on-ones. Guys, that's another episode of Steve Lags Unfiltered. We'll see you on the next episode.
That's all for today's Steve Lags Unfiltered journey. Subscribe, rate, and leave a review to fuel your success journey. Also, be sure to listen to us on your favorite podcast channel or outlet. Stay tuned, stay unfiltered, and we'll catch you on the flip side.